At least 4 people, including 2 visitors from Macau, have died in a massive explosion inside a department store in Taichung, Taiwan. Hong Kong Tramways puts in a request for a fare hike amid declining passenger numbers. And a taxi drivers' union threatens a 5-day strike next month unless the authorities take immediate action against illegal ride-hailing services. Good evening. You are now watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. 2 Macau residents are among the 4 people who were killed in a suspected gas explosion at a shopping mall in Taichung City in Taiwan. The blast injured 26 others, including a 2-year-old girl, also from Macau, who is in critical condition. Kunting Yang has more details.
The fatal blast occurred around 11:30 a.m. at the Shinkong Mitsukoshi department store. Online videos captured the moment of the explosion, showing debris and exterior panels of the building flying outwards. Officials from the Taichung Fire Department suspect the explosion might have been caused by a gas leak, ignited by renovations on the 12th floor of the store. Around 235 people were evacuated from the building and the surrounding area. At least 62 firefighters and 27 fire trucks rushed to the scene, and by 5 p.m., everyone was accounted for and no one was trapped in the building. The 2 Macau residents who died were grandparents and were part of a family of 7 visiting the island. They were allegedly hit by falling debris on their way out of the mall. The Macau Tourism Office has expressed serious concern regarding the incident. Kunting Yang, Cable News.
Hong Kong Tramways, the operator of the tram services on Hong Kong Island, has requested the Transport Department for a fare increase amid declining passenger numbers and rising costs. The proposal includes raising adult fares by 10% from $3 to $3.30. Concessionary fares for children aged between 3 and 11 will rise from $1.50 to $1.60. And for residents above 65 years, from $1.30 to $1.50. Taking to the airwaves, Chairman of the Hong Kong Tramway Workers Union, Ye Yong-sheng, partially attributed the decline in passenger numbers to the government's $2 transport subsidy scheme. Passengers switched to the bus as it is more comfortable with air conditioning, despite trams providing more frequent service. Ye said. He also said that since the company raised the price in 2022, its employees have gained higher wages and bonuses, which helped retain younger staff. Meanwhile, lawmaker Chen Hock-feng raised concerns that a fare hike could lead to further loss of passengers, as it would narrow the gap between the fares of trams and those of buses. With the government reviewing the $2 scheme, bus operator KMB has expressed concerns about the financial impact if it has to shoulder some part of the subsidy provided. KMB reported a challenging financial situation, saying that the number of adult passengers aged 12 to 64 dropped by 12% compared to 2018. Regarding future fare increases, KMB stated it will assess the situation based on its financial status. In the lead-up to the Financial Secretary's annual budget address on February 26th, the education sector is closely monitoring how the SAR government plans to address the fiscal deficit, as authorities have hinted at potential cuts in spending on education. Xue Yun reports.
Taking to the airwaves, education sector lawmaker Chu Kuo-keng said the government should look into reducing the annual student grant of $2,500 for pupils of secondary school, primary school, and kindergartens. He said that the total cost of student grants has reached a substantial sum of almost $2 billion annually over the past 3 years. He recommended adding asset assessments into the scheme to focus on helping those in need in light of a financial shortfall. However, Chu stressed that slashing education spending is not a practical solution, underlining the importance for the SAR to invest in education in order to become a hub for high-end talent. He warned that reducing budgets for schools would harm students' well-being, urging the government to carefully assess the societal impact. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
The Hong Kong Public Opinion Research Institute has suspended all its self-funding research activities indefinitely, potentially facing transformation or even closure. In a statement on its website, the independent polling organization, which conducts public opinion surveys on a regular basis, said the suspension was with immediate effect, including its regular tracking surveys dating back to 1992 and recently introduced feature studies. However, the Institute assured that any current or upcoming commissioned studies will continue as planned. The announcement comes just weeks after the Institute's chief executive, Robert Chung, was twice questioned by National Security Police over his alleged links to Hong Kong fugitive Chen Kim-wah, who is wanted for violation of the national security law. Robert Chung hoped that interest parties could take over the Institute. The polling body emphasized that it has always been law-abiding, but in the current environment, it has to pose its promotion of scientific polling. The research team is actively exploring all possible options and will announce its final decision when the time is right. A taxi drivers' union has threatened a major disruption next month if the government fails to crack down on unlicensed rail-hailing services in Hong Kong. The union plans to go on strike for 5 days, saying they are left with no choice. Quentin Yang reports.
The Hong Kong Telecom Taxi Association will take action starting March 5th. Although no other taxi union is supporting the call for a strike, they do feel that unlicensed ride-hailing platforms should be regulated. Taking to the airwaves, Association Chairman Wang Yuting said over 80% of the union's 30,000 members endorsed the industrial action, citing 11 years of unfair competition and government inaction. The union has set a deadline on February 19th for officials to respond to their demands, which include immediate shutdown of unlicensed ride-hailing platform, stricter prosecution of drivers and operators facilitating illegal services, and regulatory reforms to address the heartless and unjust policies that have allegedly driven taxi owners into financial ruin. If ignored, the union has warned of escalating measures, including mass surrender of taxi licenses, halt mortgage payments, and lawsuits against the government for financial losses. The Transport Department has urged calm, emphasizing the need to prioritize residents' interests, while arranging a critical meeting between taxi representatives and ride-hailing platforms on February 19th. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
The SAR's men's ice hockey team returned home this afternoon after losing to Kazakhstan in the quarterfinals at the Asian Winter Games in Harbin. Officials are proud of the team's performance and applauded players who were injured in a brawl with the Turkmenistan team. Shirin reports.
Meeting the press at the airport, Captain Tony Leung considered the incident an exceptional case, noting that altercations are uncommon in international competitions, especially during post-match handshakes. Leung highlighted the players' professionalism and composure during the incident, confirming that the injured players have fully recovered. Coach Kerry Durant also praised the team's handling of the incident.
What a performance by the players. I mean, I owe everything to the players. The players, they took direction and they responded really well. They dealt with the adversity at the tournament very well. And, I'm proud to say that this was our best showing at the Asia Winter Games by finishing 8th.
Sherman Chan, chairman of the Hong Kong-China Ice Hockey Association, described the incident as a thing of the past and thanked the government for its assistance and support. The association has filed a complaint with the International Ice Hockey Federation to follow up on the incident. The incident occurred last Sunday after Hong Kong defeated Turkmenistan 5-1 in a group match. 3 SAR players were injured, while 4 Turkmen players were immediately suspended for intentional aggression. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Negotiations to end the Ukraine war are gaining traction after U.S. President Donald Trump spoke to his counterparts, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's leader Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump's advisor suggests that he wants a swift end to the conflict, which is about to enter its 4th year. Sachin Kadvi reports.
On his first trip to Europe after becoming U.S. defense chief, Pete Hegseth assured his NATO counterparts that Russia's war with Ukraine cannot end by making Kyiv a member of the military alliance. Addressing a meeting of NATO defense ministers in Brussels, Hegseth also stated that Ukraine should be ready for a negotiated settlement with Russia.
As the war approaches its 3rd anniversary, our message is clear. The bloodshed must stop, and this war must end. But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering. We will only end this devastating war and establish a durable peace by coupling Allied strength with a realistic assessment of the battlefield. That said, the United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement.
In Washington, Trump said in his phone call with Putin, both leaders agreed to begin negotiations to end the conflict.
No, we had a great call, and it lasted for a long time, over an hour this morning. I also had with President Zelensky a very good call after that. And I think we're on the way to getting peace. I think President Putin wants peace, and President Zelensky wants peace, and I want peace. I just want to see people stop getting killed.
Trump said he plans to meet Putin in Saudi Arabia, but did not give further details. Not commenting on the denial of NATO membership or the possible compromises that he might have to make to end the war, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said, together with the U.S., we are charting our next steps to stop Russian aggression and ensure a lasting, reliable peace. Sachin Kadvi, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index was down 43 points. Top active stocks of the day: Alibaba up $2.90, Tencent down $2.20, Meituan up $4.50, and Kuaishou up $2.95. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with 1 or 2 rain patches in the morning tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 16 and 19 degrees. Expect sunny skies over the weekend. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.